Welcome to the lesson 15. And this one is all about building confidence through small win. And I want to ask you a question. Do you remember when you were a kid and you were learning how to ride a bike? That wobbling, the failing, the feeling like you never will get it, you're never gonna ride a bike. And then all of a sudden, magically everything clicked. You were balancing, steering, maybe even showing off with like no hands within days. So, what happened there? It's not like you suddenly became a different person. You built confidence through experience. Each small success taught your brain, I can do this. The same principle applies to transforming relationship with pain, and you believe in your own strength. We often think that the confidence comes first, that we need to feel strong before we can actually act strong. But actually, it works the other way around it. Success builds the confidence, which then leads to more success. So when you successfully handle a challenge, like even a small one, your brain files that away as evidence. She can handle difficult things. And then the more evidence you gather, the more your brain starts to expect that you'll be able to handle whatever comes next. So I want to share with you something that may sound silly, but it was actually profound for me. During my worst pain period, I started avoiding all kinds of tasks, not just physical activities, but even simple household chores, returning phone calls, even opening my mail on like a specifically difficult day, challenging day, I noticed a pile of laundry that has been sitting there for a week. And instead of continuing to avoid it, I just decided to fold just five items, nothing more. That was it, just 5 items. And when I finished with those 5 pieces, what happened is I felt that small surge of pride. I did something, and I thought, even feeling awful, even feeling so much pain, I actually did something. I folded these 5 pieces of laundry. So that small win gave me enough momentum to fold 5 more items. I know it sounds super silly and super simple. And eventually, the whole basket. And then I felt motivated to tackle another small task. It wasn't about the laundry. It wasn't about proving to myself that I could still do things, even when I didn't feel like it. So when we're dealing with chronic pain, it's so easy to focus on all the things that we can do or haven't been able to accomplish. I've done that. I know how that feels. And then what happens is our brain starts collecting the evidence that we are limited, we are weak, we're incapable, that activity could possibly lead to feeling more pain. And a small wins like this one, like the one I just mentioned, help us start feeling and collecting different evidence. And that evidence shows us that we are capable, resilient, and that we are stronger than we think. So our brain doesn't distinguish between big accomplishments and small one when it comes to building confidence. So folding laundry, taking a short walk, practicing a minute of somatic tracking, or simply even catching a fear thought, they all release the same I did it chemicals in our brain. So I want to give you an example of what small wins could look like in a pain recovery. So this could be physical wins, taking a gentle walk when you feel like staying in bed, doing maybe just one stretch or one yoga pause, standing for 5 minutes longer than you thought you could, or choosing a nourishing food when you tempted to stress eat. Emotional wins. This could mean you noticing an anxious thought without spiraling, speaking kindly to yourself during a pain flare, using somatic tracking for 30 seconds. I know it sounds small, it's a win. Choosing to do something you enjoy listening or doing instead of avoiding. Some other wins that you may have been avoiding, making that phone call you've been putting on, organizing one small area in your home, complete a task you've been avoiding, asking for help when you need it, saying no to something that doesn't serve you, expressing a need clearly to your partner, setting a gentle boundary with someone, or connecting with a friend despite not feeling 100%. So here's a beautiful thing that, happens that is about small wins. They create the momentum. And each success, each win makes the next one feel more possible. So maybe you start by practicing somatic tracking for 1 minute, and that's a success. And tomorrow, the next day, maybe you try it for 2 minutes. That's another success. And then maybe you use it during a mild pain flare. There you go. It's another success that your brain records it. And before you know it, you've built evidence that you can handle uncomfortable sensations, that you have the tools that work, that you are actively participating in your healing. So I want to share with you my client's victory story. I've worked with her a while back. Her name was Lisa, and she didn't exercise in 2 years because of the back pain. She was convinced that her body was too fragile for any kind of movement. So we started very, very small, just marching in place for 30 seconds. That's it, nothing more. And the first time she did it, she was amazed. It was like, I did it. I moved my body and nothing terrible had happened. That tiny success gave her the courage to try it 45 seconds the next day, then a full minute, then walking to the end of the driveway, then around the blocks. And 6 months later, starting from that 30-second marching in place, she started taking dance classes. But it all started again with that 30-second marching in place and that radical realization that she was capable of way more than she thought. So we really, we want to start small here. We want to start collecting that evidence for your capability, right? And we do this through choosing one doable task, something that, will take you a little bit of time. You want to complete it, even if you don't feel like it, even if it's not perfect. And again, we're not talking about pushing through it. We just want to gently complete it. We want to celebrate it. We want to acknowledge that, you did something for yourself. You want to notice how that feels, paying attention to any sense of accomplishment or pride. And then you want to use that momentum to really, maybe try another small thing. So, ideas, if you're looking for ideas for small wins, this could be making up your bed, drinking a glass full of water, taking 30, marching steps in one place, taking 3 deep breaths, writing down, the next thing you are grateful for. I think you get the idea. I think I've mentioned a lot of things in this video. And then you want to keep that evidence list. You want to keep a win journal. Write it down, your small accomplishments. They may seem insignificant, but you actually like building blocks of empowerment as you go through this journey. So some of the key takeaways that I want you to remember on this journey and from this video is success builds the confidence more than the confidence builds the success. So experience always comes first. Your brain doesn't distinguish between big and small wins. All accomplishments count. Small wins create that momentum. So each success makes the next one feel more possible, and you collecting evidence of your capability. Every small win is a proof you can handle challenges, and our celebration amplifies the effect. So acknowledging your small wins strengthen the evidence building cycle. And I want you to remember that you are stronger and more capable than your pain has taught you to believe. Every small action you take, despite the discomfort, every moment you choose courage over comfort, every tiny step forward is evidence of your incredible resilience. You don't need to climb mountains to prove your strength. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to fold those 5 pieces of laundry, take a super short walk, or simply practice being kind to yourself for 1 minute. So, like big transformation are built from those tiny victories, and you already are capable of those. And small wins, I want you to really, really remember this, are not less than or insignificant. They're the building blocks of lasting change and building you confidence on this healing journey. So I want you to honor your small victories. They're actually quite mighty, and they'll help you on your healing journey. So thank you so much for joining. I hope you tune in to the next lesson tomorrow.